Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Miami Minute where we talk about my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins. And it's a victory Monday. The Miami Dolphins defeated the New England Patriots 17-16 in Foxborough on Sunday. And for just a moment, for just now, the Miami Dolphins are in first place of the AFC East. So I'll take a moment, we'll marinate in it. Okay. Hope you enjoyed it, because obviously the season's going to be tough. Ultimately, the only thing that matters in the NFL is winning. There's no such thing as style points. And because I want to end this episode on a positive note, we're going to start off with the negatives. So, Tua had two amazing drives in this game that he looked efficient and sharp on. This was the first drive of the game and the first drive after halftime, both scripted series. After that, Gesicki was mostly taken away for the game, and Tua didn't look quite as good as he did on those two opening drives. I think a lot of his struggles came from the offensive line play. Let's not mince words here. It's bad, and it's been bad like for the last few years. Realistically, for like a decade now, Ryan Tannehill never had a good offensive line. It looks like we're not giving to an offensive line. There were many moments in this game where players were missing blocks. They were tripping their teammates, allowing for pancake sacks. What else? Oh, we had both guards pulling in opposite directions. Very good. There's a screen pass where one of the offensive linemen just was out in space, not blocking anybody, just looking around, and got to watch the running back get canceled. We can't have that. I'm hoping as the season goes on, the offensive line plays together more. They'll mesh better, but not good. Really rough day for the offensive line. There were a couple of drops that didn't help either. Waddle, in particular, on a third down, hit him in the hands. He was outstretched. He was diving. You need to have that in the NFL, though. There's really no excuse, especially for a first-round pick. Hopefully, it was just early game jitters because he did play quite well after that. Then on defense, they struggled to get off the field on third down. The Patriots were doing a tremendous job of creating space with their wide receivers, running picks, screening players from other players, allowing Mac Jones to dink and dunk down the field and frustratingly get first downs on third and shorts to keep the Dolphins on the field. It felt like in the second half, the Dolphins were on the field for a majority of the game. You don't love that. I think that also led to Tua's very ugly interception. Of course, it didn't help that he had a man in his face. He got out of it. Matthew Judon was right there. He kind of just threw it up for grabs. But in context of that, the Dolphins had a 3-and-out. The Patriots had a long drive. Dolphins had a 3-and-out. Patriots had a long drive again. He was really feeling the pressure of trying to keep the offense on the field and keep the defense off of the field because at that point, they're probably quite tired. Can't really excuse that. Can't make that throw. It leads to an interception. They nearly lose the game because of it. But I do think that he did have that in his head that you need to keep the offense on the field because the defense was gassed. So here's where the positives come in. Speaking of the defense, they were on the field for a lot of the game, but they really did a great job of bending but not breaking, holding the Patriots to 3 field goals on long drives and really stopping them on what would end up being a touchdown drive. That touchdown, of course, came because, well, there was a really bad roughing the passer call on Raekwon Davis. I personally don't think it was roughing the passer. He was falling down while trying to make the tackle. I know you can't go low, but it's not like he intentionally dove into the legs. There's not really much leeway with that rule, I guess, so it helped them get a first down on what should have been a third down sack, and they ended up getting a touchdown from there. Xavier Howard, he's proving that he's worth every penny you can pay that man. He took away half the field all day. I think there's only one pass that I can remember that went to his side, which is like to Hunter Henry for about like 6 yards. But other than that, they just didn't even look his way, which is amazing. That what more can you ask for from a stud cornerback? But yeah, he saved the day here. He forced a fumble and recovered it to give the Dolphins the ball back when the Patriots were within the Dolphins' 10-yard line. They were able to drive the ball downfield, get a couple first downs, and ice the game. So Xavier Howard, my MVP of the game, his contributions outside of the forced fumble and fumble recovery won't show up on the stat sheet, but he really was a huge influence on how the game went. Jalen Waddle, he played really well. He had that one drop that I talked about earlier, but he was really solid after that, and he had his first career touchdown, so love to get him on the board for that. Parker, he made a couple of very, very impressive catches. One over J.C. Jackson, who had a lot to say about Tua after the game, but hey, we won't talk about that here. Where Jackson did have great coverage, but hey, when Parker's going to make catches like that, there's really not much you can do about it at all. And I'm happy to have Parker back and seemingly looking pretty healthy. Gaskins, he really looks like he can become that featured back. Obviously, he led the team in rushing last year. He had career highs in that, but he was often not available due to injury, due to COVID. So I was really excited to see him play very well, and I think him, Ahmed, Malcolm Brown will be a great three-headed attack for the Dolphins. So, to summarize it all in all, it was a very decent week. The defense bailed the Dolphins out, but I think those are two very good teams who are just slugging it out, and I hope that that's going to be how the division is. I mean, I would love for the AFC East to turn into a division that's competitive in much the same way that, say, the AFC North is, where each year you have 3 to sometimes 4 very good hard-nosed teams who have these kind of exciting down-to-the-wire games. Let me know what you thought about the game. I know a lot of Patriots fans are thinking that they should have won, but I think if you're a Dolphins fan, just take this. They've won 3 of the last 4 against the Dolphins. They went into Gillette early in the season, first week, stole that win away. If they can hold on for later in the season, win a game at home, it will be even better for them. So I'm very impressed with the defense, very impressed with Brian Flores, and I think Tua played decently. I'm not impressed with the offensive line. That really needs to improve, but there is reason for optimism for the team going forward. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you agree, maybe you disagree. Maybe you're like, Dolphins suck. They got lucky. They never should have won. I don't agree, but I would love to hear from you if those are your thoughts. So, like I was saying, I'm hoping the AFC East is going to remain competitive, and we don't have long to find out if that will be the case, because the Dolphins are playing the Buffalo Bills coming up, and the Bills lost to the Steelers. They'll be looking to avenge that loss. The Dolphins' last game of last season got absolutely destroyed by the Bills, so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for a Dolphins win, but I'm not counting on it. It should be a fun game regardless. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, trying to get that custom URL. If you liked me, you can follow me on Twitter at @thefakeBMR. That's BMARR. Channels on Twitter at WickedGoodSport or at WGEverything. Instagram, WickedGoodEverything. The main channel is youtube.com/WickedGoodEverything. That is more gaming and comedy focused. This channel, of course, is Wicked Good Sports. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything, and on TikTok, just search Wicked Good Everything. Thank you so much for watching, or listening if you prefer, to check out just the podcast on podcast services, and we will see you in the next one.